Hello everybody. Today I'm making this lobster ravioli with a garlic, butter, and wine sauce. Everything from scratch. It's delicious. Stay tuned and you'll see how I make it. So to make this pasta, first we're starting with about 2 cups of flour. This is 00 style flour, which is a soft flour, but all-purpose would work. To that I'm adding 3 eggs into the well here. Oh. Just gonna get that mixed up. That did not work the way it's supposed to. Let's just get this back in place here. Here we have it. Kneaded it for about 10 minutes. Looks pretty good and smooth. So we're going to wrap that in plastic wrap and let it rest for about 30 minutes or so, and we'll make the filling during that time. Now to make the filling, I'm just going to do it in the food processor. So here I've got about a cup of lobster. We're going to throw in there. To that we're going to add about half a cup of ricotta cheese. So I'm just eyeballing it here. So that's probably half a cup. We're going to add a quarter cup of cheese. Here I've got Pecorino. Parmesan might be better for this, but this is what I had, so I'm just going to sort of crumble this into there as well. And to that, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And 1 clove of garlic, just roughly minced. We'll add some salt and pepper. Now we will just fire this up in the food processor till it's roughly blended. There we go. You can see it's blended. It's still got some texture to it. I added a little bit more salt and pepper and lemon as I blended it because I'd given it a taste and it could have used a bit more seasoning. So this is well seasoned. Now we can put this aside. I'll just store it in the fridge while we roll out our pasta. So this pasta's been resting for about half an hour. I'm just going to cut it into 2 pieces. We're going to wrap one of them up while we're rolling out the other. Now this, we're just going to sort of shape it a little bit. Just going to dust. And now we'll roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch. I have a pasta roller, which could have used, but this isn't a lot of pasta, so I figured I'd do it by hand. Here we have the pasta rolled out. You can see that they both roughly are the same shape because we're going to put the filling on one side and then put the other one on top. So before we do that, I'm just going to flour this a little bit so things don't stick. Let's put that over here for a second. Here we have our filling. I forgot to add parsley to this, so I'm just going to add some now. This is just some flat leaf Italian parsley. And we'll just mix that up by hand now. So now we're going to take filling and add it. This isn't perfectly shaped. You just have to do it so that there's enough space around the ravioli. So now we need to wet just around the pasta. I'm just going to stretch this out a little bit. It needs to be a bit bigger than the bottom, just because of the fact it's got to go around the pasta filling. That's stretched out nicely. Now what we want to do is form this around the pasta filling. So if I had a pasta cutter, I would use that, but I don't. So I'm just going to use a knife to cut around this. These don't look very pretty, so one thing that I can do is you can use a like sort of a pasta cutter. This is a cookie cutter, and just to trim this off, get things that look a little bit more uniform, but we do have to make sure that the seal is still good. Now, just to make sure that these are sealed, I'm going to give them a little there we go. Those look better. And I've got enough dough left over that so this was the scraps. Just going to roll this out again. I can use the rest of the filling so it doesn't go to waste. Now we're at the stove and just going to get this sauce going. I'm just making enough for 5 ravioli. That's all I'm going to cook. So I'll put the measurements in the description to make a whole batch. But here I've got about 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Also got water boiling for the pasta. And into the water I'm going to add some salt, generous amount. Here I have 5 of the ravioli. I'm just going to lower those in. Butter going. I'm just going to add, I've got about 1 clove of garlic here. Don't want that to brown, just basically get fragrant. Now I'm going to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And a couple tablespoons of white wine. We'll finish that off with a couple tablespoons of heavy cream. Pasta's been going for, it's probably been about 4 minutes. It's fairly thick, so let it go a bit long, but it looks pale now, so I would say it's probably done. I'm going to turn the sauce off, turn the pasta off. Now we will pull this out with a slotted spoon. See, there's a bit of brown in the sauce just from the butter burning on the pan. So what I'm going to do is run this through a sieve when I pour it onto the ravioli, just so we have basically a clean sauce. So I'll be back with plating. Ravioli is here. So now what I'm going to do is put the sauce on it. This step is not necessary, but I had some, there was some burnt bits in the sauce, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a strain. And we'll add a little bit of parsley as well. You can just zoom in here so you get a better good look at it. And there we have it. Lobster ravioli with a homemade pasta and a garlic, butter, and wine sauce. Nice and simple and easy to pull together.